Mm. All right, let's settle down now. Let's settle down. My name is Yvette. X. That's Miss X to you. And I'm your substitute teacher for today. Now, I know when you hear the word substitute, you think that means it's playtime. Well, I have too much to offer to take any mess off a bunch of hormone-raging teenagers with no home training or respect for authorities. Now, turn off your cell phone. And I don't mean on vibrate or silent. OFF. Off. Thank you. Now, your civics teacher left me a note saying you all are studying how the government works, or in today's political climate, doesn't. See, I have a few things to say about that. Civics isn't some class you have to take so you can graduate and go stick your head in the sand. Nah, civics is about understanding your rights and duties as citizens. Now, I'm going to lay something heavy on you. Check this out. Did you know there was a time in these United States where black folks couldn't own guns? And that brings me to today's civics lesson. The pioneers of the modern gun rights movement. According to Education Week, since this year, more than 17.7 million public school students enrolled in almost 900 districts across the country have had their learning restricted by local action, and the recent slate of laws and policies aim to ban the teaching of concepts related to race, racism, and gender, often deemed critical race theory. These laws have resulted in teachers self-censoring and avoiding lessons on race. However, this is simply a ban on teaching the truth in our history. This disservice will continuously disproportionately affect black children through increased discipline policies that push students out of the classroom and into the criminal justice system. In framing the discussion around critical race theory catering to white fragility, we neglect to see that critical race theory can teach black students about their history as Americans. Yvette X is a substitute teacher who uses the opportunity to discuss critical race theory as a way to empower her students and to chronicle a part of their history their education would have neglected to provide otherwise. The Pioneers of the Modern Gun Rights Movement by Yvette Halinger. Now, is there anybody here that was around in the late 1960s? No? Guess not. Well, there's more to it than what your history books might tell you. More to it than angry poems, writing, and finger pointing. See, the pioneers of the modern gun rights movement emerged during this time to exercise their rights and duties as citizens. Can you guess who they were? Anybody? No? Well, hold on to your holsters because this is going to shock you. The pioneers of the modern gun rights movement were the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense, better known as the Black Panthers. See, back in the 60s, black folk had won the right to vote, to sit at white-only lunch counters and next to white children in the classroom. But the day-to-day life for black folk was still the same. Black folk needed it, couldn't get it, but were expected to pay taxes for it anyway. Yeah, America had decided that we were citizens, but slow to deliver on equal opportunity. We still had to wait until the gold-paved streets of heaven to get our milk and honey. And to add insult to injury, because white folks were the only people who could afford guns, blacks were left defenseless against the unchecked violence at the hands of those whose job it was to protect them. The police. Enter the Black Panther Party, A well-regulated militia, just as it says in the Second Amendment, necessary to the security of a free state. They organized to stop police brutality by doing what? Yes! Policing the police! They rode around with the top down, armed with the weapons of social change of their day, shotguns, tape recorders, and law books, ready to recite chapter and verse the law to any pig or politician that challenged their right to protect their own, just as white folks would have done if the situations were reversed. It's May 2nd, 1967, a day many Californians will not soon forget. If you look behind me, you'll see 24 angry Negro males and 6 angry Negro females, all uniformly dressed in black berets, dark glasses, leather jackets, and afro hairstyles. These locked and loaded members of the Black Panther Party have mounted and are now climbing our state capitol steps. Fully loaded 12-gauge shotguns, .5 caliber guns, all in full view of the public. As those Black Panthers waltzed right into the State House legislative chambers, legislators were diving under their desks shouting, "Don't shoot! Don't shoot!" One of them even managed to ask, "Who are you people?" They said, "We're the Black Panthers." We're black people with guns. What about it? And there was no problem getting Californians, Republicans to support gun control after that. And they couldn't do it fast enough. And with the support of the NRA. And just like that, California had the strictest gun regulations on the books in the country at that time. And the Black Panthers Party plan had backfired. Now let's be real. Gun control laws in this great country of ours have historically been out and out racist and elitist. You can believe that the NRA, the KKK, and the GOP were all for gun control when it came to black folks. When the 14th Amendment was passed, giving blacks full citizenships with the rights, privileges, and protections under the law equal to those of white citizens, black codes restricted black people's freedoms and prohibited them from possessing and buying guns. It was open season on black people who were being hunted, killed, lynched, beat, attacked by dogs, and sprayed with fire hoses. Now, how many of you have lost someone to gun violence or known someone who was a victim of gun violence? Please raise your hand. We have been hunted and killed practically since the day we walked off the ship in shackles. And we are still being killed. And what's worse, now the white man doesn't have to kill us because we're out here willingly killing each other. Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, little Bobby Hutton, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. Now add the unnamed 25 people, including the 9 women and 8 children who will lose their lives in America today. All of those names combined are not going to get Congress to move on this. We have to do it. We the people, by any means necessary. Black people have begged, prayed, petitioned, demonstrated, and everything else to get the racist power or structure of America to right the wrongs which have been historically perpetuated against black people. Well, you can wait until the next election comes, or you could put on some beret-wearing black and brown folks shooting some military-style assault weapons with multiple magazine clips on the state capitals. You'll see how fast gun reform laws get passed. Hey, now there's an idea. My name is Yvette X. That's Miss X to you. And if you want to ensure that not another American, black or white, young or old, rich or poor, Republican or Democrat, gets killed tomorrow, meet me on the Capitol steps.